Ladies and gentlemen, we are on DTV channel. It's first on its appearance on the network Decentralized Television, and I am host of this interesting channel about innovation and future techs, immortal host of this interesting channel, Jorge Sebastiao. Now with us, our guest, our friend, Jorge Sebastiao. He becomes CEO of Nimbus platform, not very early stage, on very soon. And I've been able to and would like to ask him, George, how do you feel yourself on this very interesting position? And what is Nimbus not about? What's the achievement of Nimbus in this really crazy DeFi market?
Okay, first, thank you very much, Sergey. It's a pleasure to be here. Gavari Paruski Malinka, so I speak very little Russian, so we will do it in English. We are both in Dubai, so it's a pleasure to be here. As you know, all these projects that are blockchain based is really primarily creating about value and community. As you know, Nimbus has been around for some time. It was originally established in Malta as an organization, and it has moved from being a crowdfunding organization to actually being a DeFi project. It has a very big community, about 50,000 people, and keeps growing. So one of the first steps, of course, in this move towards DeFi is to create a very trusted and transparent DeFi platform. So it was created on the basis of two tokens. One is a token that provides both utility to the community as well as it can grow in value over time. And it provides kind of a residual value to the community. But one of the things that is very different from the past is this introduction of the DAO concept. DAO stands for Dynamic Autonomous Organization. The idea is that every member of Nimbus is actually an owner in that community. Not just are they an owner, they also can vote in the direction in which the project will take over time. And the way they do that is through the GNB, which is the governance token of Nimbus, which has also been released. It was originally released on Nimbus DeFi platform or Nimbus Swap, and eventually also made its way off to Uniswap as well. But of course, people want to go even beyond that. So we obviously have made the work to make sure that it was available on Binance chain, since Binance is recognized as a place that is today one of the trusted marketplaces for digital assets. So obviously this will in itself provide much more value to the community and allow the community to continue to grow across the world. As you know, in this decentralized world, we are trying to help this community, which has many languages. I'm lucky enough that I do speak quite a few languages of the community. So I speak English, French, Spanish, Italian, a little bit of Arabic, Gavari Paruski, very little, Malinka. So it is important to be able to address the community in the language of their choice. But I think we have really massive plans by introducing new functionality in the platform, as well as value for the community. The next steps, of course, will include to have this organization listed in not just Binance as a crypto and digital exchange, but also being listed on a real stock market. We are evaluating several stock markets when this can actually be listed, but primarily we're looking at US stock market and Canadian. As you know, US NASDAQ is very popular with high-tech offerings. And the second one is the Toronto or TSE, Toronto Stock Exchange, which is also quite popular with this. There's a few colleagues of mine that have recently also done some launches in the Toronto Stock Exchange, all associated with digital assets, and they've been extremely well received by the community and are doing extremely well.
Cool. You know, George, besides of my congrats to you personally to get that position to come to that position of the Nimbus. And I would like to know about GNBU token a little bit more, in which perspective it seems that when DAO as is being appears, or so many people inside comes around and have that ability to manage all this company, looks like the Nimbus have to change once more time its SEO. Is it going to the hands of the real community? You are so caring about that?
That is correct. So that means when you establish an organization controlled by a DAO, first thing is important. All the rules about the organization are public and they're visible to everyone. Second thing, the contract that is actually used by Nimbus is audited by external organizations. So this ensures that the contract is fair. This ensures the contract is safe and trusted. And obviously it does not have any backdoors or security vulnerabilities that could be a problem to the community. But I think beyond this extended trust that is provided by the audit, the most important thing is that the community is given the opportunity to make decisions of where Nimbus will take its next steps. So a lot of these decisions are basically put to the community through votes, and the people that are the holders of these tokens are able to approve or reject or select the option of their choice. So in reality, this behaves very much like the way traditional shareholders meetings are held, where people that own shares of an organization then are able to make decisions at the board meetings. So, and here DAOs, or distributed autonomous organizations, function pretty much the same way. And this also means that the people that also are part of the DAO also get returns automatic that get distributed to their ownership of the organization as well. So they get kind of, it's almost similar to the way dividends work in traditional organizations. So that means any kind of extra value that is generated by the organization is then returned to the community, because they are actually the ones that helped create this community in the first place.
George, so huge consciousness comes around that DAO, I'd say the DAO ideology, because it appears once on human reality. The structures of how it's the managing the people is going to be like from the one head to another, like in pyramid, only the structure. And now it's going to be some kind of linear and being somehow managed by real platforms created for the DAO companies. I'm talking about decentralized autonomous organization. I want to mention you something. I have read the news just, I don't know, just maybe today. It's released today. Let me share it now. Wait a second, please. Yeah, here it is. My next congrats, your appears in, I'm talking about Nimbus, your appears on eveninvesting.com. And here's the 5 governance tokens which are transforming the DeFi market. And we're talking about decentralized autonomous organization, of course. First of it is, here it is, Compound, Synthetics, Nimbus with the GNBU token, Kyber Network, Balancer. Looks like the future is real now. How do you feel that all this stuff happening? Are really humanity ready to do this? Because I see so many people around that do not even can or have troubles with using some apps, but we are going to create really cool organization on earth and bring the managing of all of this to the devices, to the automation.
Well, I do believe that there's a few things that are important. Eventually, around the world, all organizations eventually will be managed through DAOs. Are we there yet? No, I don't think so. We're taking, you can say, the leadership steps or the baby steps to show the way how we actually doing this. And in this sense, Nimbus because of its investment in technology, is introducing the value through this new smart contract. The second thing is, even myself being the CEO of this organization, I'm actually now responsible to address the community and to implement what the community decides. So it's no longer my decisions. Now this is the decisions of the Nimbus community that we actually end up implementing. That really means I actually work for the community. They are my boss. I am not the boss of this organization anymore. So I'm actually a servant to this organization. I'm a team member. I bring my technical expertise. I bring my architecture and cybersecurity expertise. But that's it. It's the community that decides what is the actions that will actually generate the most value for the community, which areas to grow, functionality, etc. And as you see, these top 5 organizations, and Nimbus being amongst one of these top 5 organizations, shows the level of investment in R&D that has actually gone into the Nimbus solution. This is also important because Nimbus was at the crossroads almost 6 to 9 months ago, where people saying, what is the next step that Nimbus must take to continue its explosive growth? And definitely the DAO decentralized way was clear in our mind that through the proper implementation of this, it allowed many things. One is to establish a fully decentralized organization where everybody becomes a member. It's almost like a co-op system. I come from Canada, and in Canada, even some of the financial organizations are called co-op. One is called CS Co-op in Ottawa. And when you become a member of this co-op, what you're actually doing is you're buying a 5 Canadian dollars share in this organization. So you actually get to vote to make decisions how this organization should be run, what are its priorities, what are its objectives, what are its business direction. And that's really what we're actually doing with Nimbus. We're creating a major decentralized revolution where all the members of the community are involved in making this decision process. So that means not only they benefit from the value that is generated, they're actually helping shape this direction.
Amazing, amazing, really cool to hear that. Now, George, let us know about upcoming plans, about Nimbus, maybe futures, maybe something special. I have heard already from your words that you are going also using in parallel Binance chain for reducing transaction fee, for increasing the transactions as is, because so many are stuck in this Ethereum platform, so many DeFi projects, we need all that stuff. What's the upcoming future and what we can expect from the Nimbus in a very nearest time?
Okay, we have several key milestones that we're undertaking, but although DeFi is a revolution and is today implemented in Ethereum 1.0 as it moves to Ethereum 2.0, one of the biggest challenges in the current Ethereum chain are as follows. One is from time to time, the Ethereum chain gets clogged with transactions, so its performance although is much better than the Bitcoin network, it's still limited in scalability. 2.0 should be able to address a lot of these concerns. The second thing that is a big road stop or block in the road is the fact that what we sometimes call gas fees. As you know, the smart contracts and the exchanges that happen in DeFi contracts are actually done on the Ethereum blockchain. If the Ethereum blockchain is not clogged, then the transaction fees become lower, or we call gas fees. However, when people want their transactions to go faster or to get priority, then they have to increase their gas fees. And that really means for simple transactions and low cost transfers of value, the gas fees are simply too high. And this applies to even new technologies like NFT, which is having the same challenge associated with meeting the new tokens as well. So we at Nimbus, our priority is to ensure that we deliver the most cost-effective solution to the customer. So we looked at various chains. One popular chain, which is also copy of Ethereum is Tron. And then we looked at Binance. Binance is also, you can say, a better, faster, lower cost Ethereum. It's based on the same technology. So that means if you have a smart contract, the smart contract is portable across these three chains. So there's a lot more interoperability today. So we made the decision that Binance chain was the way to go. So much lower transaction fees, much higher transaction throughputs, much bigger community worldwide. As you know, today, Binance is the top exchange. Actually, Binance is not one organization, but there's several. There's Binance based out of US, which is about 2 or 3% of the transactions. There's Binance outside the US, which is the remaining 98%. And both of it is, some of it is centralized and some of it is decentralized to their DEX offering. But definitely they have captured the market in terms of decentralized approach, to the point that if we go back in the DeFi world, maybe 1 year ago, when Uniswap got introduced, all of a sudden, Binance almost lost its leadership for a short period of time. But the people in Binance are extremely wise. They're extremely business oriented. So what they did is they went back and they say, what do we need to do to be better, to serve the community? And what they've done here is through the Binance chain implemented a solution that helps the community substantially. So the biggest step for us is going to be listed obviously in this Binance chain, which will benefit the community substantially. Beyond that, we're also making longer term plans to launch a real life world IPO of the organization. And why is this important? Because I do believe that although DeFi is the future and DeFi will continue to be the future, DeFi will only continue to grow if there is a direct relationship between what we call physical assets and digital assets. So whether these physical assets happen to be company shares or gold or real estate, the DeFi solutions that are able to tie real world assets with the digital ones are the ones that are going to move in the new world order that we have created. You can call it the post-COVID advances. And the DeFi projects that undertake these steps are the ones that are going to be in a leadership position to implement better and more cost-effective solutions on one side, but on the second side, to provide the biggest value possible to the community as well.
Absolutely, absolutely agree with you. Now, George, is my last but not least question. Please let us know what's the business model inside, because we clearly see that technology, as is, it really appears, so many things combined in one place. It's really great to hear, to understand, and to use. But what's the business model inside? I don't talking about staking. I don't know, while yield farming. Sorry for really my tone becomes to not clearly accept that words. Yield farming, staking, and all of that we see everywhere on DeFi. Maybe some kind of another business model appears from Nimbus on the DeFi market.
Well, actually, the big difference probably about DeFi market in relationship with Nimbus is that in the Nimbus project, the real owners of the technology in the community are the community themselves. And this is why we implemented with DAO approach for this solution. And I consider this community ownership as the biggest distinguishing factor to any of the other DeFi projects out there. So not only we're giving value to the community, it's actually the community who is responsible and in charge to help shape the direction of the project.
Thank you, George. My questionnaire for now is over. I would like to see so many times in our channel too, and spread the information about this, how I'd say, cutting-edge technologies in DeFi market when I'm talking about Nimbus. Today with us being Jorge Sebastiao, it's CEO of Nimbus platform. Guys, I will let you soon. I will let you to see very soon. My pleasure to have you today, George. See you.
Thank you very much for hosting me, and always looking forward to meeting you either online, virtually, but also in the physical events. As you know, we have quite a few events coming up where we'll get a chance to meet. In the next few days, we will have Ritosa and CC Forum both in Dubai. And then we'll probably be moving on from here to Turkey, where there will be also a big event in the blockchain DAO space as well. So looking forward to meeting you and the community there as well.
For sure, all of this is going to be for sure broadcasted on DTV. Guys, see you. My pleasure.
Thank you very much.